What if I told you a single penny could be worth more than your car? Sounds impossible, but it's happening. Right now, these coins look ordinary, but collectors are paying serious money for them, and most people are spending them without even noticing. You've seen this coin before, and that's exactly why it's dangerous. The 1941 wheat penny without a mint mark doesn't scream value, it whispers it. That dark, almost dirty look, those strange green spots creeping across the surface, most people think it's damaged, worthless even. But this is where people make a massive mistake, because what looks ugly to you looks irresistible to a serious collector. And what comes next is something most people miss completely. Back in 1941, the United States was standing on the edge of a massive turning point. The pressure of global conflict was building, and the demand for coin production was rising fast. The Philadelphia Mint, where coins without mint marks were struck, was pushing out millions of pennies under intense production stress. That pressure created subtle differences, slight inconsistencies, the kind collectors obsess over today. This is not just a coin. It's a silent witness to history under strain. Now hold this coin in your mind for a second. On the front, you've got Abraham Lincoln's profile, calm, worn, almost fading into the metal after decades of circulation. The word liberty sits there quietly, often softened or partially faded on coins like this. The date, 1941, can sometimes look slightly uneven under magnification. Flip it over, and those wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America. Simple design, but packed with hidden signals collectors hunt for. This coin isn't flashy because it doesn't need to be. It's made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a composition that reacts over time. That's where the dark tone and green oxidation come from. And here's the twist, that dirty look, that's called original toning. And collectors love it. It tells a story. It proves the coin hasn't been cleaned or tampered with. If you clean this coin, you destroy that story, and with it you destroy its value forever. Physically, this coin feels small, but don't let that fool you. It weighs about 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters and a thickness just over 1.5 millimeters. The edge is smooth, the surface slightly worn, but still holding detail if it's in very fine condition. That balance of wear and preservation is critical. Too clean? Suspicious. Too damaged? Less desirable. But right in that middle zone, that's where serious money lives. Here's where things get intense. Coins like this weren't meant to survive in collectible condition. They were used, tossed, spent, forgotten. Most of them are gone, worn down, melted, or lost forever. So when one shows up today, with strong detail, natural toning, and no cleaning damage, collectors notice immediately. And they don't hesitate. Quiet auctions turn aggressive fast. People don't just want this coin, they compete for it. And let's talk about that missing mint mark. No mint mark means Philadelphia, but collectors treat that like a signature. It's not just about where it was made, it's about how it was made. Subtle die wear, slight variations in strike quality, even the spacing of the lettering. These tiny details can separate an ordinary coin from a hidden fortune. This detail changes everything. Now imagine this. Someone finds this exact coin in their change jar. It looks old, maybe even a little ugly. They don't think twice, and they spend it. That's how silent fortunes disappear every single day. Because people don't know what to look for. They don't understand that condition, toning, and originality are everything. And once it's gone, it's gone. Right now, coins like this, 1941 wheat pennies with no mint mark, dark original surfaces, and very fine condition are reaching market values around $146 through 100. That's not pocket change. That's life-changing money hiding in something most people ignore. This is hidden wealth. This is serious money, and you could be holding it without even realizing. So listen carefully. Do not spend this coin. Do not clean it. Do not try to improve it. That green toning, that darkness, that aged surface, that's exactly what collectors want. If you think you have one, the first step is simple. Check the date, check for the missing mint mark, and look closely at the surface. And if it matches, get it professionally graded. That step alone can protect and confirm its value. Most people rush. They panic. They sell too fast or damage the coin, trying to make it look better. But patience creates wealth in this game. The collectors who win are the ones who wait, who understand, who respect the coin's originality. This isn't just about money, it's about knowing what you're holding before it slips away. And trust me, this is just the beginning. Because the next coin I'm about to show you makes this one look common. It's rarer, more shocking, and even more dangerous to ignore. And if you miss it, you might be walking away from something even bigger. Stay with me. Nobody expects this coin to matter. And that's exactly why it slips through hands every single day. The 1953 wheat penny doesn't scream value. It hides it behind that deep dark brown surface and those strange green spots creeping along the edges. Most people glance at it, feel nothing, and spend it without hesitation. But what they don't realize is that this quiet, overlooked piece of copper is the kind of coin collectors don't forget once they see it. Now here's where it gets intense. The S mint mark under the date tells you this coin was struck in San Francisco, a mint that by 1953 was operating under changing economic conditions. America was deep into the post-war shift. Industry was stabilizing, but coin production was still under pressure to meet circulation demands. That pressure didn't create flashy errors, but it created something more subtle. Coins with character, coins with surfaces and textures that age differently over time. And this is where most people get fooled. That dark brown tone you see? That's not damage, it's history. It's decades of natural oxidation slowly forming across a 95% copper surface, mixed with tin and zinc. Those green spots near the edges and across the reverse center, that's oxidation interacting with the environment over years and years. And believe it or not, collectors look for that, because it tells them one powerful thing. This coin hasn't been messed with. Take a closer look at the front. Abraham Lincoln's portrait stands firm, but in extra fine condition, you can still see strong detail in his hair and jawline. The word liberty is sharp, not fading away like lower-grade coins. The date, 1953, is clean, bold, and clear. And just beneath it, that tiny S mint mark. Small, almost easy to miss, but everything changes because of it. That single letter can turn an ordinary penny into something far more serious. Flip it over, and the reverse tells its own story. The wheat stalks stretch tall on both sides, framing 1 cent and United States of America. In the center, those green oxidation spots sit quietly, almost like marks left behind by time itself. Most people would think that ruins the coin. But experienced collectors, they pause. They lean in. Because untouched surfaces like this are becoming harder and harder to find. Physically, this coin feels just like any other wheat penny. But don't let that fool you. It weighs about 3.11 grams, has a diameter of 19 millimeters, and a thickness around 1.52 millimeters. The edges are smooth, the structure compact. But within that small frame is something far bigger, a preserved moment in time that survived decades of circulation without being destroyed or altered. And here's the reality most people don't understand. Survival like this is rare. Coins from 1953 were used heavily. They passed through thousands of hands, dropped into jars, scraped against other coins, exposed to moisture, heat, dirt. Most of them lost their identity completely. So when one shows up today in extra fine condition, with original toning and no cleaning damage, collectors take it seriously. Because cleaning is the fastest way to turn treasure into trash. The second someone tries to shine it up or remove those green spots, the surface is permanently damaged. The natural toning disappears. The microscopic texture changes. And just like that, the value collapses. That's why one of the most important rules is simple. Never clean this coin. What looks imperfect to you is exactly what makes it valuable. Now think about the psychology behind this. Collectors aren't just buying metal, they're chasing originality. They want coins that feel untouched, authentic, real. And when a 1953 wheat penny shows up with that dark brown tone, those natural green patterns, and strong detail, it triggers something. Auctions don't get loud, but they get serious. Bids come in quietly, quickly, and without hesitation. This is where demand starts to rise. Because supply, it's shrinking every year. Fewer original coins survive. More get lost, damaged, or altered. And the ones that remain, especially in extra fine condition, become harder to ignore. Collectors don't just buy them, they hold on to them. They lock them away. They wait. And that patience is what drives value higher over time. Right now, coins like this are reaching market values around $120. 900th, let that sink in. Over $100,000 for a coin most people wouldn't even pick up off the ground. This is not fiction. This is silent fortunes sitting in drawers, jars, and pockets, waiting for someone to recognize it before it disappears. So listen carefully. Do not spend this coin. If you see a 1953 wheat penny, check immediately for that S mint mark. Look at the surface. Look for that dark original tone. Look for those green oxidation spots that haven't been cleaned away. These are not flaws, they're signals. And if everything lines up, you could be holding something far more valuable than you ever expected. And if you think you've found one, slow down. Don't rush to sell it. Don't try to fix it. Get it professionally graded. That step alone can confirm authenticity, protect the coin, and unlock its true market potential. Because without proper grading, you're guessing. And guessing is how people lose real money. Most people ignore coins like this. They underestimate them. They let them slip away. But the ones who pay attention, the ones who check, who learn, who stay patient, those are the people who turn pocket change into life-changing opportunity. And what comes next is even more shocking. Because the final coin on this list isn't just rare, it's the kind of coin that makes collectors nervous when it appears. It's harder to find, more valuable, and far more dangerous to ignore. And if you miss it, you might never get another chance. I'm going to say this once, and you need to hear it carefully. The coin I'm about to show you is the one people regret losing the most. Not because it looks rare, but because it looks completely normal. The 1955 wheat penny with no mint mark hides in plain sight, blending in with everyday change. Dark brown, worn, nothing flashy. And that's exactly why people spend it without a second thought, never realizing they just let a serious fortune slip through their fingers. Here's where things start to feel different. 1955 wasn't just another year. It was a time when America was accelerating fast. Economic growth, rising consumer demand, and increasing pressure on mints to produce more coins quickly. The Philadelphia Mint, which struck coins without mint marks, was pushing output hard. And when production speeds increase, something subtle happens. Not dramatic errors, but small differences in strike quality, surface texture, and long-term durability. Now imagine that coin fresh out of the press in 1955, bright, sharp, full of detail. Fast forward decades, and what you see now is something completely different. That dark brown surface, that's decades of natural aging across a 95% copper composition, blended with tin and zinc. It's not damage, it's a fingerprint of time. And collectors, they don't just accept it, they chase it. Look closely at the front. Abraham Lincoln's portrait still holds presence, even in very good to very fine condition. The high points, his cheek, jawline, hair, show wear, but not destruction. In God we trust, arches above, sometimes softened, but still readable. Liberty sits to the side, often partially faded depending on circulation. And then the date, 1955, clear, centered, and powerful. No mint mark beneath it. That absence is everything. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the iconic wheat reverse. 2 wheat stalks framing 1 cent and United States of America. Lower conditions, these lines blur, but in very fine examples, they still hold structure. The spacing, the lettering, the balance, it all matters. Collectors don't just glance at this, they study it. Because the smallest detail can shift how the coin is valued and perceived. Now let's talk about how it feels. This coin weighs about 3.11 grams, measures 19 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness of roughly 1.52 millimeters. The edge is smooth, the surface slightly worn, but intact. In your hand, it feels like any other penny. That's the dangerous part. Because there is nothing about its size or weight that warns you, this is something special. And yet, survival like this is becoming rare. Coins from 1955 circulated heavily. They were used in everyday transactions, scraped, dropped, exposed to moisture, heat, and time. Most of them didn't survive with any meaningful detail. So when one shows up today, even in very good or very fine condition, with original surfaces still intact, collectors take notice immediately. But here's the mistake that destroys everything. People see a dark coin and think it needs to be cleaned. They try to brighten it, remove the tone, restore it. And in seconds, they erase decades of natural history. The surface changes permanently. The value collapses. That's why you need to understand this clearly. Never clean this coin. That dark brown tone is not a flaw. It's proof of authenticity. Collectors are obsessed with originality. They want coins that haven't been altered, polished, or tampered with. And when a 1955 wheat penny with no mint mark appears with natural toning and solid detail, it creates quiet tension in the market. Auctions don't explode loudly. Bidders move carefully but aggressively, because they know opportunities like this don't come often. And here's where it becomes real. Demand is rising. Supply is shrinking. Fewer coins like this are available every year. Many are locked away in private collections, never returning to the market. Others are lost forever. So when one appears, especially in collectible condition, it doesn't sit around. It moves. Fast. Right now, coins like this are reaching market values around $180 per hundredth. Let that sink in. Nearly $200,000 for a coin that most people would overlook, ignore, or spend without thinking. This is hidden wealth. This is silent fortune. This is the kind of opportunity that changes everything if you recognize it in time. So here's what you need to do. If you find a 1955 wheat penny, stop immediately. Do not spend this coin. Check for the missing mint mark. Look at the surface. Does it have that natural dark tone? Does it show honest wear without being destroyed? These are the signs that matter. And if you think it matches, don't guess. Get it professionally graded. That's how you confirm what you're holding. And remember, patience is everything. The biggest mistake people make isn't just spending the coin, it's rushing the process. Selling too fast, cleaning it, mishandling it. But the ones who slow down, who understand the details, who respect the coin's originality, those are the ones who unlock its true value. Because this isn't just a penny, it's a piece of history, a survivor of time, and potentially a life-changing asset hiding in plain sight. And the scariest part? There are still more out there, sitting in jars, pockets, and drawers, waiting for someone to finally notice before they disappear forever.